Not gonna lie, yesterday was a pretty good race. There's some good action. The ending was really cool. And upset that Harvick won, but still, it was a good ending. Just an overall good race. You had a lot of things happening. You had multiple leaders. You had multiple grooves. You had a lot of stuff happening. I mean, there were a decent amount of guys that led. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick led. Almirola, Truex, Chase Elliott even led. I mean, there was a decent amount of people who led today, so it was really interesting to watch that, and just it was a really good race. So, stage one, uh, Kurt Busch and Truex dominated it. Truex ended up getting the stage win, getting an important playoff point. That was the sixth stage win of the year, I think. So he is now up to 26 playoff points. During that first stage, Landon Castle, he wrecked, as well as AJ Allmendinger, who I put in my surprises. So rough day for him. But stage two, Truex was leading, and out of nowhere, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott start chasing down Truex. Chase Elliott ends up passing Martin Truex Jr. for the lead and is able to hold off Kurt Busch to get his first stage win of the season. So Chase Elliott ended up getting 19 points off of stages. He finished first in the second stage and second in the first stage. So for a guy who doesn't have a win, those 19 points are huge. So I think his bubble, he was 51, I think, before the race started, and he's up to 81 now. So those 19 points obviously did a lot, but that was also helped with some of the struggles of the guys that are on the outside looking in. Harvick ended up winning the race. He got 5 playoff points, but the end was really, really cool. Or I don't know what to say other than cool, but Kyle Busch was leading. Kevin Harvick was chasing. You could tell Harvick had the better car. Kyle Busch was doing a good job holding him off, kind of blocking his line. And then it got to the point where Harvick was just like, I got to go. He gave him a little tap, pushed him out of the PJ1 sticky stuff, and Harvick was able to get around him. Kyle Busch was able to hold on for second place. But before that, Eric Almirola was leading, and under caution, they had a pit issue, just a slow pit stop, and that's what led to that. But still, great day for Almirola, but big win for Harvick, 5 playoff points, and I think the biggest loser out of all of this is Kyle Busch. His 2 biggest opponents gained on him. Kyle Busch going into this race was the leader in playoff points. I think he had 30 versus Harvick's 27 and Truex's 26 or 25. And now Truex, he only gained 1, but still every playoff point counts, so he has 26. Kyle Busch has 30, and now Kevin Harvick has 32 due to the fact that he won. So, as I said, every playoff point counts, just a little bit more safe room for if you get eliminated. And Kyle Busch got 0 today, whereas his 2 top opponents, one of those got 1 and the other one got the most, 5. So, and then there was another playoff point that was given to a guy who now has 1 playoff point, Chase Elliott. So, I think that hurts him a little bit. Second place, no one likes second place, but, it's a good run for him. He didn't have a great car all day, so, he should be happy, but it's Kyle Busch. What do you know? I'm going to give a quick rundown of the finishing order, and then I'll give you a bubble watch and a playoff update. Finishing results, Kevin Harvick wins the race. Kyle Busch second, as I said. Eric Almirola had a really strong run. He finished third, led some laps, was leading late. His car really came at the end. Martin Truex Jr. gained a playoff point, finished fourth. Chase Elliott, first stage win of the year, 19 stage points. He ended up with the top 5 in 5th place. Ryan Newman, not really talked about much all day, finished 6th. Really good run for him. Ryan Blaney, him and Kurt Busch had a pit road incident where just Kurt Busch stopped entering because he thought Blaney was exiting, and it was just kind of a stall. So that definitely hurt them both. So Ryan Blaney 7th, Kurt Busch 8th. Kurt Busch led the most laps yesterday. Really strong run for them, promising run. Could have been better, but as I said, that pit road issue, I think he really had a top 5 car. He even could have contended for the win. Joey Logano 9th. I was a little surprised by that. I didn't like his car, just the way he qualified. Jimmy Johnson ran in the top 10 all day. He ended up with the top 10 and 10th. Alex Bowman struggled all day, finished 11th. Kyle Larson a quiet 12th. Denny Hamlin 13th. William Byron, 14th, really good run for him. Matt Kenseth in the 6th car finished 15th, great run for him. Eric Jones, that top 10 streak ends, he finished 16th. Paul Menard, 17th. Jamie McMurray, 18th. Casey Kane, 19th. Chris Buescher, 20th. Austin Dillon, 21st. Daniel Suarez, 22nd. Disappointing day for him. 23rd, Ty Dillon. 24th, Bubba Wallace. 25th, Ross Chastain. Michael McDowell with 26th. Corey LaJoie at 27th. Matt DiBenedetto at 28th. David Reagan, 29th. Ricky Stenhouse would finish 30th after having a bunch of issues, and he was right on the cutoff line. He was like 20 points out. He was up to 9 points out because Bowman was having struggles, but then he hit the wall, so he had issues, which really hurt him. Kyle Weatherman finished 31st. Brad Keselowski had brake issues, and he was not able to continue, so he had a 32nd place finish. 33rd was Blake Jones. 34th, BJ McLeod. 35th, as I said, Clint Boyer smacked the wall, so he finished 35th. 36th, AJ Allmendinger, he crashed, and 37th, Landon Castle, he also had to crash. So moving on to the bubble and the playoffs and who's going to make it and who's not. Let's look at the standings right now. In Kevin Harvick with 6 wins, Kyle Busch 5 wins, Martin Truex Jr. 4 wins, Clint Boyer 3 wins, Joey Logano with a win, Eric Jones with a win, and Austin Dillon with a win. So those 7 guys are locked in with their wins. Safe, they're in. Points-wise, safe. Kurt Busch, he's 221 points above the cut. He has 2 stage wins, so 2 playoff points. Brad Keselowski, he's 210 above. He's got 4 stage wins with playoff points. Kyle Larson's 180 above. Blaney's pretty safe at 159 above. Denny Hamlin, 158 above. Eric Almirola, 150 above. Here's where it gets interesting. 97 points above the cut line. Jimmy Johnson. Once it gets under 100, it can really go either way. I mean, you could have a bad day, and Stenhouse could end up getting stage points. Like, he could finish 4th in stage 1, 2nd in stage 2, and end up getting an 8th place finish. Jimmy Johnson could wreck in stage 1 and only get 1 point. So, it's really not safe, but it's warm. I'd say it's warm for Jimmy Johnson. But if he could win, that's obviously locks him in. Same situation for Chase Elliott, who's 95 points above. In the danger zone is Alex Bowman. He's only 28 points above. He has one bad day. He might be out. I mean, he's got guys chasing him down like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Paul Menard. Paul Menard and that team has really found speed recently. They've been doing great, actually, recently. So, and they already have a stage win, so they have playoff points. So does Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He has 2 stage wins. So either one of those guys can catch up, and then beyond that, it's Ryan Newman at 74. And that's tough to make up. Unless Alex Bowman has 3 consecutive weeks of bad finishes and Newman has 3 consecutive weeks of good finishes, I don't see him pointing his way in. And he'd have Stenhouse and Menard to pass as well. So only way I see Ryan Newman down on making it is by winning. So obviously those guys need to win if they want to make it into the playoffs. Paul Menard and Ricky Stenhouse, they could point their way in if Alex Bowman has a slip up. But I'd say right now the biggest pressure on for making the playoffs and who's on the bubble is Alex Bowman. Who's in right now. But, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. Next week is Pocono. It should be an interesting race. I've been to a fuel mileage race there. We've seen Wreckfest there. We've seen everything there. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. So that's all I got for right now today. Talk to you tomorrow. And have a nice day. Like, subscribe, share. Yeehaw.